From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Happy Thursday to you. Take a look at one more warm day out there today. You take the temperatures we saw yesterday, it's going to be about the same for today. Maybe a little bit cooler in some spots here, but nothing all that noticeable. But it is going to be cooler going into the weekend. You'll notice it tomorrow and even more so for Saturday, Sunday, and it's getting cooler. The forecast highs are much cooler than what I've been anticipating over the last few days, so stick around for that. More wet weather by Friday through Sunday. Now, this is going to be kind of one of those things where the forecast models are still kind of tweaking things here and there, but it looks like Saturday is going to be when we're going to see the most amount of rainfall for most of us, right? I think Friday, as early as tomorrow, some areas seeing some decent amounts of rainfall as well. And then dry with near normal highs going into next week. But it's looking like some cooler air is going to kind of stick around just to our north through a good portion of next week. That should keep our temperatures at bay. Look at the high temperatures we did see this yesterday afternoon, that is. Temperatures mainly in the low 80s for most of us in the valley. Chico about 77 degrees, saw a high of 85 for Redding. And in the mountains, look at that, El Turris almost 70, 75 degrees for Susanville. And of course, the typical cool spots was along the coast here with temperatures in the mid-50s. Here's your neighborhood forecast at a quick glance. Temperatures in the low 80s here for the valley, mid-50s for the coast. So again, another warm day. Even for the mountains, we're mainly in the 70s. All right, so I'm trying a new format here. So for those of you that are watching the forecast and just want to get a quick out-the-door forecast, well, let's just start with our fly-through here. And you can see temperatures, again, are going to be a little bit warmer out there today. Temperature about 57 degrees in Fortuna, 59 for Blue Lake. And of course, for each region, you can also take a look at that 7-day outlook so you can get a quick glance at what you can expect as we go through the next 7 days as well. 61 degrees for Smith River, 75 for Hoopa, 68 for Orleans, and there you can see Willow Creek about 78 degrees. We take you out to your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast with temperature, look at that, in the 70s. But again, you go up higher in elevation, it cools off a bit. Temperatures mainly in the mid-60s for those daytime highs. Modoc County, upper 60s to around 70. Look for a high of about 69 degrees for Canby, 70 for El Turris, and 70 degrees for Calpines. And your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, those temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s, although places like Mineral, 66, 65 for Viola, but there you can see Paradise, about 74 degrees. And your valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor, those temperatures will be in the low 80s for your daytime high. So again, not quite as warm in some spots as it was yesterday, but still looking at some gorgeous weather out there. A high of 82 degrees for Redding, 82 for Red Bluff, and Palisadro, about 82 degrees. All right, let's take a look at the big picture here. We've got this roller coaster ride with the temperatures. They've been going up. Now they're going to be going down here as we go into your Friday. Temperatures will drop down by tomorrow into the low 70s in the valley. So about a 10-degree drop from today to tomorrow. And maybe another 10-degree drop going into your Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures eventually dropping down into the low 60s, and maybe even some of us in the valley only reaching the upper 50s with those daytime highs. So this is a cool pocket of air moving over us. But once that moves out, we've got high pressure trying to build in. But it can't, because we get another cold core system. This is called an inside slider that's going to give us keep those temperatures at bay. It's not going to be as cool. It will warm up a little bit. Temperatures near normal for this time of the year from Monday, Tuesday of next week. But that cooler air just kind of, you see some more kind of coming down here from the north, keeping those temperatures at bay. This ridge of high pressure just can't build because we've got this colder air in place and this trough of low pressure keeping things from really warming up a whole lot. So again, we're kind of in that between the below and above normal. So we're kind of in that near normal category when we do look at that long range forecast. And we take a look at that trend, there's that roller coaster ride. Temperatures dropping, but then they go back up. And they're going to level out a little bit and then maybe even increase a bit more going into that next weekend. There's the big picture. That's the area of low pressure. This is the next system that is going to be moving in. This is the next cold front. And that's what's eventually going to help to drop our temperatures. So let's take a look at Futurecast. It's been kind of changing things up a little bit here, but look at this. Even for today, we're noticing a few of those puffy cumulus clouds developing. Now, is it out of the question for the north end of the valley around Redding to maybe see a stray shower today? Not out of the question. I mean, it's just barely picking up on some activity. It might happen. So don't be surprised, but I wouldn't count on it. So don't cancel outdoor plans. If you work outside, don't worry about it. But, just know that if the clouds start getting darker, you may run into a stray shower later this afternoon and evening. Now, as we do go into the evening hours, it is picking up on a little bit of instability for maybe an isolated thunderstorm in northeastern Shasta County. And I was talking about this yesterday, that the potential for eastern Siskiyou, Modoc, Lassen, north and eastern portions of Shasta County, maybe even parts of Tehama County, could see that potential for a thunderstorm or a shower later tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Now, that moves out, and here's that cold front I was talking about. So that's the first band of moisture pushing on through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Snow levels are high, mainly above 6,000 feet, but we are seeing those showers for your morning commute along the coast. You see, it's not really pushing eastward a whole lot. That's because the area of low pressure itself is off to our west, and it's diving to the south. So what we've got to watch is that flow coming around that area of low pressure, bringing everything in from the south. Now, typically what happens with these types of systems is you get these bands that you can see here. Sometimes these bands may be a little bit more to the east or to the west off of the forecast model. So what I've got here is a chance for showers for everyone on Friday. But I think the bulk of the rain on Friday will be on the coast, central and western Siskiyou County, so Mount Shasta, Wairika, I think you could see some decent rain coming out of it. And then this band here could bring some decent rain for parts of the eastern mountains and maybe even Modoc County. The valley may make it through a good portion of the day on Friday without much rain. But again, if we can get this band to push a little bit more to the east, and of course now we're talking more rain. So that's something that's we're going to have to watch here closely. As we go into Friday night, there you can see, looks like we're seeing more of that widespread precipitation in the area. And again, keep in mind, snow levels are high. We're not going to have much impact on your mountain travel. Now, as we go into your Saturday morning, 6 a.m., you see the bulk of the activity is off to the east. So for the valley eastward, we may see some of those showers and maybe even a bit of a break as we go into mid-morning hours for the valley, but most of it off to the east. And really the coast may not see much in the way of rainfall coming in for your Saturday morning, but that could change Saturday afternoon. In fact, here's the noon hour on Saturday right here. You see how we're seeing that flow around that area of low pressure. So again, that's what's going to help to feed in the moisture and the showers on Saturday. Now, as this moves to the south, what's going to happen is I think the best chances for showers on Sunday will be the first half of the day. Then as that low pressure system moves down to the south, our chances for rain begin to move on out. Now, once that moves out, we, for the most part, dry things out for early next week. But I'm tracking another area of low pressure coming in from the north. That is going to give some snow because it's got some cold air associated with it up to our north. But also the flow around that low, and typically with these inside sliders, you tend to see those winds pick up. So breezy, borderline windy for your Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday of next week. Now, some of the models want to bring some of this precipitation to the south, so it's not out of the question for parts of early next week for places like El Turris, Mount Shasta to maybe see a stray shower, but it won't amount to much because most of it's going to stay to our north. And then you can see that cooler air, that low pressure, another one kind of coming down from the north, keeping and preventing this ridge from really building in. Now, the colder air won't be right on top of us. We're going to be between the cold and the warm air. So that's going to keep our temperatures, as we saw, right around normal for this time of the year. Now, how about the rainfall outlook? Still kind of tweaking these numbers a bit. I think about a quarter to maybe a half of an inch in the valley, and we could see more than that for some of the higher elevations. But you'll notice even the coast not picking up on a ton of rainfall either. So bottom line, this system's not going to bring us a lot of rain. It's going to be more of that nuisance storm, right? We see some of the rain, we see the winds at times, and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, by the way, for tomorrow and even Saturday. All right, so here are your wave heights. You can see those wave heights are dropping as we do go into your Friday, but approaching Saturday, we've got those wave heights most likely increasing. So your marine forecast for your Thursday, north winds at 5 to 15 knots. Now notice the small craft advisory. That's through this afternoon. It should be allowed to expire later this afternoon and into the evening hours. All right, so here's what we have today, kind of the big footprint with the temperatures. Temperatures mainly in the low 80s for the valley today. I'm expecting temperatures still in the 70s for many of us in the higher elevations, but some of the higher mountain communities, say above 4,000 feet, probably closer to the 60s. All right, and then we take you out towards Hoopa, Willow Creek, mid to upper 70s, and for the coast, in the mid to upper 50s for your daytime highs. All right, here's your 7-day outlook. Taking a look at that trend, there are those showers for your Friday. And it looks like I think the best chance for rain, for the valley at least, will be on Saturday. And then Sunday, a continued slight chance for showers, but I think chances are diminishing through the day. And then we'll kind of see those temperatures getting closer to normal for this time of the year by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.